let's talk about what I learned from starting a business at 21 years old. And it was pretty interesting because the person that I was at that time was so different. So I could look back with a more mature mindset from when I was a 21-year-old. So the intention when I started my business at 21 was to work for myself. I was fed up of taking orders or working for other people and helping them, you know, build their life and just living a life not on my terms. I decided to go into entrepreneurship. And I learned a lot of lessons in the process. And I think it's important that I share some of them because as time goes on, I see a lot of people starting their own business, especially the younger generation. And there's obviously a few things that we don't think about when we start our own business. So this is what I found. And it's not so much business advice, but just my own personal lessons that I learned. So what I learned when I started my business at 21, I actually made 70% of my money after my 4th year. So what do I mean by that? In my first 4 years, I only made 30% of my total income of my career in my business. Okay, so let's say you make $1 million, only 30% was made in the first 4 years. The last 70% was my 5th year to my 7th. So that showed me that a lot of things in life are effort in life is front loaded and usually results are back loaded. So whenever you start a business, and if you ever do, know that whatever you put in, you only see probably after a while. So persistence and consistency is very key. I also learned that compounding works phenomenally. As I probably just mentioned, they kind of go hand in hand. When you kind of get the ball rolling and you start stacking things over and over, it just becomes like a flywheel and things become a lot easier, but it takes time. So the beginning of any business is super tough. It's a grind. You're starting from zero. It's so hard to get momentum that, that's where a lot of people give up. And for me, it took me about 5 years to get into that flywheel effect where, things just start compounding and it becomes like this way easier process. Now, obviously what I learned in my process is that, starting a business where I am the service is probably not the smartest thing if I want to, have a kind of like work-life balance and not make everything about just earning. When you're in the real estate industry, you could be selling houses, but you're giving a lot of your time. So if you pick a business, understand that scalability is really important. And if you're leveraging your time and your energy, there's only so much energy and time that you have in a day that you'll have to be really good at managing it properly or finding another way to scale. I could have easily started a team, but that's not exactly where I wanted to go. I'm happy that I ended up pivoting into content creation. So probably the last thing I learned is, and probably one of the most important things is, I learned a lot about myself throughout the process. When I first started at 21 years old, I wasn't confident, I was shy. As much as I was extroverted and I really liked people and I liked socializing, I got intimidated. And look, starting as a 21-year-old to sell people's houses, it's a very deep ask, right? You're going into someone's house, they're an older individual or individuals, and me just being there at 21 being like, yeah, I want to sell your house. Obviously it's could be very intimidating and you don't know what to say. So as time went on, I improved on certain skills or just, by doing it over and over. And obviously my mentor was a big factor in helping me and helping me grow and evolve. It gave me more confidence. It allowed me to speak better and communicate better and negotiate better. So these were all things that helped me improve in my life and evolve my own personal self. And I think that's the main takeaway here. I think when you start a business or you do anything, it's the journey with yourself and who you become. When, you kind of go down a path, you kind of see what truly comes out of you. And that's really beautiful. So that's ultimately what I learned. I have a lot more wisdom, but I'm just gonna keep this super short because I don't want to rant and make it too long. So I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if I missed anything. Do you have a business? Let me know what you've learned. Are you looking to start a business? What's stopping you? What scares you? What motivates you or inspires you to start a business? Let me know in the comments below.